Yeah. Yeah.
What am I doing, talking to a pauper like you?
I've heard that some pilgrim was selling off pieces of a rare sword. If you happen to have one, I'd be interested.
Did that sasso dabbler send you here?
Why?
Why? Because there was nothing left for him, and now he's envious and wants some too. Well, he's out of luck. I do have it, but I'm not selling.
Man, isn't there some way...
No way. Like I've already said, not a chance. Bye. Me and Mr. Zora and a few stable boys were left standing in the middle of a bloodbath.
That's dreadful.
All the saints were watching over.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for a ginger-haired boy. I hear he's friends with some charcoal burners.
We ain't friends with no redhead.
He works as a stable boy in the stud farm.
I know where that is, but I don't know no one from there. God be with you.
Good health to you.
I'm looking for a ginger-haired boy. I hear he's friends with some charcoal burners.
We ain't friends with no redhead.
He works as a stable boy in the stud farm.
I know where that is, but I don't know no one from there. Farewell.
God be with you.
Could you help me?
Depends what you want, doesn't it?
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof. They say he ran away and joined up with some charcoal burners he used to hang around with sometimes.
Sorry, there's never been a lad called Ginger around here. You have to try somewhere else.
A murder's been committed at Neuhof, and that boy likely knows who did it. It's vital I find him.
There's been murder aplenty in these parts of late. But that ginger lad really hasn't been here.
There'll be a lot less murdering going on once I bring those bastards to justice. So how about helping me out?
Calm down, lad. For the love of God. There's been no one like the boy you want round here. But then again, there are other charcoal burners. Try them. You might want to hurry. You're not the first to be asking about him. And the others weren't exactly a noble-looking bunch. Although they were generous with their silver.
They didn't happen to say what they wanted him for?
No. But they definitely didn't look like they wanted to invite him to a feast.
Do you have any idea where else he could have gone?
You said he was friends with the charcoal burners? Well, you'll definitely find some in the forest between Neuhof and Uzhitz. There's good spots around there.
But that forest is huge. I could spend weeks searching.
Then follow the river. That's how you found us, isn't it? Where there's charcoal burners, there's always water nearby.
All right, I'll go and ask somewhere else.
Farewell.
Yeah! Yeah!
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I'm searching for a stable boy from Neuhof. They call him Ginger.
Yeah, I know him right enough, but I don't know where he is now.
He's run away from the stud farm. I have to find him.
Well, he's definitely not here. Try the other charcoal burners camp downstream. Maybe he's there. Good luck to you.
Jesus be praised.
I'm looking for Ginger from Neuhof. Do you know anything about him?
I know him. What do you want of him?
There's a few questions I need to ask him.
Well, you'll have to go somewhere else to find him. He doesn't come here much.
I really must speak with him. A murder was committed at the stud farm, and that boy probably knows who did it. I have to get him to talk.
And you think he had a hand in it?
Hard to say. He ran away, but on the other hand, it seems he stabbed one of the attackers.
Well, when you put it like that, it's clearly urgent business. I do know him. Not personally, but I've seen him around. He's friends with the charcoal burners down by Townburg. I know he hangs around with the twins there.
Downstream by Townburg? Somewhere by the castle?
If you follow the river to the west, you're bound to run into them. Oh, one more thing.
Yes?
Some other men have been around asking about him, but they weren't as convincing as you. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you? What's going on there?
What's going on there? Hey, who's there?
What's going on there? Hey, who's there? What's going on there? Who's there? What's going on there? Hey, who's there? What's that?
What's going on there?
Who's there?
Hey, who's there?
There's something wrong.
My respects to you.
Where are you hiding Ginger?
What?
Don't try that one on me. I know he's friends with you and your brother. I need to talk to him about the massacre at the stud farm. He's the only witness.
All right. I'll tell you. But first, you have to deal with those two bandits who've been asking about him.
All right, I'll deal with them.
I'm glad to hear it. I'd say they're somewhere between here and our neighbors upstream. There's a place there where poachers used to meet before we came here, but it's abandoned now. The path to it leads straight from the stream. Try looking around there.
All right, I'll have a look there. Thank you.
God be with you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for Ginger. I've heard he's here.
With us? Don't know why anyone would tell you that. I've never met him.
They seem pretty certain.
Well, they must have gotten mixed up. There's no one of that description here. Good luck to you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof.
Then why don't you look for him at the stud farm?
He was there, but now they say he's hiding amongst some charcoal burners.
And where did you hear that? Anyhow, there's no one of that description here. Try asking somewhere else.
I've been to the other camps and they told me I'd definitely find him here.
How could they know that? They just wanted to get rid of you.
I wouldn't say that. They realised I'm trying to help.
Oh, aye? And how's that?
That boy witnessed a murder and probably killed one of the murderers. I'm sure those cutthroats are already looking for him, and if I could find my way here, so could they. And when they do, they won't be asking their questions as nicely as I have.
Aye. Well, as it happens, they've already been here. And you're right, they weren't pleasant. It's my duty to protect these men, and I fear I won't be able if that pair come back.
Well then, what are we going to do?
We're going to do it my way. First you get rid of those two murdering dogs, and then I'll tell you what I know.
But I don't know where to look for them.
They're always wandering about here. Their hideout must be somewhere nearby. They came here from the east, across the bridge, threw their weight around, and then went back the same way. And I know of only one place in that direction.
What place is that?
There was a camp between here and the charcoal burners in the east. They're most likely there. We'll lead you.
There's no time for that now. First, I have to speak with Ginger.
You'll never get to talk to Ginger if they kill him first, will you? Is that the kind of justice you want?
That's fair. I'll look for them.
The words of a true man. Once you take care of them, come back and we'll talk. Good luck to you.
God be with you.
Farewell.
God save you. What can I do for you?
You know something about Ginger?
I might have heard something, and if you share a bit of silver with me, I might share what I know.
That depends. What do you want in return?
A bit of silver never hurt anybody.
That story about 30 pieces of silver didn't have a happy ending.
Well, then it will have to be more than 30. Try convincing. Not bad, not bad. Listen up. Ginger has two mates. Twins, who are keeping him hidden and taking care of him. They go out every day to bring him something to eat.
Where do they take the food?
I don't know. I didn't follow them. Why would I?
Thank you. That's helpful.
May the Lord watch over you.
What's that? I've been thinking it over, and I got an idea.
An idea? Wonders will never cease.
I was thinking we should go lop someone's head off, and the others will soon tell us what they know.
Well, they might. Then again, they might split your skull with an axe.
They wouldn't dare. No more than those cowardly fuckers at the stud farm.
That was different. It was night, there was lots of us, and Runt was with us, and there's not many have the balls to face him. Here, there's only 2 of us.
So what do we do then?
Sit tight and keep watch. Sooner or later, that boy will turn up. We'll skewer him.
Yeah. Yeah. Help me, somebody! God in heaven!
Nishak, mi buti talo.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, leave me be. I want to sleep.
Good health to you.
You don't have to worry about those bandits anymore. I've dealt with them.
Really? And I suppose I have to take your word for it.
If you want proof, I can take you to them. Maybe I should have brought you their heads.
I'll take your word for it. All right, a bargain's a bargain. Ginger is hiding out in a ruined hut not far from here. You go along the road to Ujits until you see a path to the right that leads to a small spring. There's an overgrown path that leads from there right to where Ginger is. Keep your eyes peeled, though. You could easily miss it.
Good. Thanks for your help.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's not my fault. There was nothing I could have done to help. I was frozen solid. I couldn't even open my mouth. I couldn't even get a peep out. They would have killed me if I'd said anything. I couldn't stop what happened. I'm not to blame.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognized? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushitz, and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushitz, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but it wasn't. Then it was too late. They went past, and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight. I started to sneak away, but then...
Then the slaughtering started?
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but then all the killing started and flames everywhere. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand, the hoof pick.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then he told me I'd better lie low if I valued my life. He ran off with the others. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang ran past.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ushitz came back. I didn't dare come out until I was sure. I think it was almost light.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them, and 2 of them were really big. That's all I can remember.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible. I know exactly how you feel.
If only I yelled. Maybe they...
If you had, you'd most likely be dead. It probably wouldn't have done any good anyway.
But still...
There was nothing you could do. That's all. Why did you kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
You don't have to tell me everything, just who they were and where they went.
I only recognized one of them. A fellow from Ushitz with a limp. He lives in a house on the edge of the village, but he's in the tavern there whenever he has the coin.
What else do you know?
Nothing. That's all.
I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but...
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about it. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
I could go and ask them if it's important to you.
Would you? You'll definitely have their respect, the way you took care of those cutthroats.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return, man.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a clean conscience because he gave those murderers a signal.
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers recognized him and Ginger was afraid he'd come back and kill him.
Those are just excuses. He wouldn't dare come back.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run, they'd have killed him and everyone else.
But why would they do that?
Why not? They'd already murdered several people, why not a few more?
And now I'm supposed to take him back? What if they come back for him and kill one of my daughters in the process?
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of. And the rest have no reason to return here.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
I understand your concerns, but you just need to ask Sahanish to leave you a guard. Those bandits might be willing to take on a few stable boys, but not an armed soldier.
I'd definitely feel better if someone was here a few days to keep watch.
It can be arranged. I'm sure Sir Bernard won't object.
Good then. Let the lad come back again. Take care.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't try anything stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
You can return home. It was hard work to convince them, so please don't get into trouble when you go back.
Thank you. I'd like to give you something, but I've got nothing, except if you're ever traveling by way of Neuhof, stop by and I'll show you something with the horses.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it, then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around in Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First, you have to...
Well, I'll think it over.
Farewell.
Greetings. What do you need?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujit with a limp.
And his name?
The boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company. Villagers like to gossip.
But what if he's not there? He could have fled, maybe even to Kuttenberg.
If I don't find him in Ujits, I'll ask around. Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Ujits then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hang. Then bring him to me in Merhoyed, and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir. Why choose Merhoyed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall. Helpless to do anything about it.
I have some news about the investigation, sir.
Good. Tell me.
The trail leads to Ujits. I found out one of the bandits is from there, a fellow they call Limpy Lubosh.
I see. What else?
That's all I found out so far, sir.
All right. Come back and report to me as soon as you learn anything new.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
My respects to you.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
What would you want with him? Well, it's no skin off my nose. The bastard has a cottage on the edge of the village by the road to Ratai. God be with you.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
If that's what you call nothing to see, I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now, and nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Another thing about Lubosh. What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That'll explain why he didn't scream. Judas. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? Why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. Judas. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? Why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? Armor? Well, it seems Lubosh wasn't your everyday crofter. And judging by the bloodstains, it looks like he lived the way he died. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? Nothing unusual. A bed.
The best thing for hair? I heard it from a travelling merchant. He had it in Prague. He said it was delicious. Maybe you should have done that a long time ago. Good evening.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Ask away.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
He was a drunkard and a beast. And lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
What do I care about that scoundrel? I was glad he stayed out of my way.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
He was always a loner. Except lately, he started talking to the parish priest of all people.
That's all. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits. May they burn in hell.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time, and then yesterday he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's all. Thank you.
Farewell.
Nothing here.
The Lord have mercy. Poor Zora. God bless her.
Judas. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? And why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But a bandit who knows how to ride isn't something you see every day. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted it? That would explain why he didn't scream.
She never was a one to break easily.
Bed. Nothing here.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Another thing about Lubosh. I found armor in his house, covered in blood.
God preserve us. Everyone knows he was a violent oaf, but I never thought he'd stoop to murder. At least he never did that here. Take care now.
Are you deaf? Do something! My God, over there! Do something! My God, over there! For God's sake, there! Over!
Get the hell out of here!
You! Stop right where you are!
Surrender!
Been lurking around where you don't belong and ignoring warnings. You should have thought twice.
Look, I'll tell you the truth, but you mustn't tell anyone. The Lord of Rat-Eye sent me on a secret mission. And to do it, I have to bend the law a little now and again. Understand?
Well...
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you. Well, what do I care? Ask.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhoff was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait, are you saying he... Jesus!
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Leipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhoff, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but to ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
That's all. Thank you. I've come in the name of...
I don't know nothing.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhoff was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
That's all. Thank you. Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Nothing out of the ordinary, praise God.
Good God. What happened to your clothes? If you were robbed, you should report it.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Leipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhoff, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
That's all. Thank you.
Where do I go to sleep?
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building, there's a ladder up to the loft. Your bed's ready there, and a trunk for your belongings.